For our lesson today, we're going to do a little exploration first. We're going to write the equation of each line, and then we're going to try to make an observation. This is line A, this is line B, and this is line C. So let's take it one at a time. Let's start with line A. What two things do you need in order to write the equation of any line? Okay, you need the slope, and you need the y-intercept. And you usually write it in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, what do you notice about the slope on this one? Okay, it's negative, it's declining. So we're going to write that down for this point A. Okay, I'm just going to pick 2 points on this. To find the slope, I do the change in y over change in x, or the rise over run, so it's going down and then over 2. So the slope is a negative 1/2. Okay, then you could also find out where it crosses the y-axis for the intercept, so just look at it. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 0, 5, so the b is 5. What's your equation? Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. All right, let's do b. Okay, let's find the slope first. It's a positive slope. Let's just pick those 2 numbers, up 2 over 1. So my slope is a positive 2. My y-intercept looks like it crosses the y-axis at 0, 2, so your y-intercept is 2. Your equation is y equals 2x plus 2. All right, now let's look at line C. The slope is, oh, it's the same thing, slope as 2, and the y-intercept is negative 3. Your equation is y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, now what do you notice about these lines? Which 2 are parallel? Okay, B and C are parallel. What also do you notice about B and C? When we look at B and C, the slope is the same. So we notice that parallel lines have the same slopes. All right, what do you notice about lines A and B? Or A and C? They intersect. Do they form a special type of intersection? A 90-degree angle. We call that a right angle, or they are perpendicular. Okay, so line A and line B, what we call perpendicular. Now, what do we notice about the equations of line A and line B? Is anything the same? No. But let's pay close attention to their slopes. One's a negative, one's a positive. Okay, that's a good observation. That one, they're opposites. In other words, a positive or a negative. What else do you notice? Okay, they both have a 2 in it. Now this is a 2 as a slope, and this one is 1/2. What do you call those? 1.5 and 2 have a special name. We used them a lot when we were dividing fractions. Begins with an R. They're reciprocals. Good job, Mary. Reciprocals. So we notice that if you have 2 lines that are perpendicular, their slopes are actually opposite and reciprocals. So from that example, we've learned that parallel lines have slopes that are equal. They're the same. Perpendicular lines, slopes are opposite and reciprocals. So if we looked at the slopes here, you have a 2, and then you have a negative 1/2. Okay, let's do an example. We're going to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the line with the equation of y equals negative 4x plus 9 and passes through a point negative 4, 5. Okay, what 2 things do you need to write the equation of a line? Slope and the y-intercept. Okay, now to get our slope, we're going to look at this equation because we're writing an equation for a line that's perpendicular to this one. We know its slope will be the opposite, so it'll be a positive. And we know it will be the reciprocal of 4, which will be 1/4. Now here's where you're going to mess up. Do I need this equation anymore? Nope, I'm done with it. Once I've gotten that bit of information about what the slope of my new equation is going to be, I'm done with it. Okay, now my second step is then to plug your slope and your points to find your b. So I have 5 equals, what's your slope? 1/4 times your x, -4 plus b. Okay, so these simplify, and I get a -1. What do I do to both sides now, Cameron? Add 1. And you get 6 equals b. So now what is your equation? Y equals 1/4 x plus 6. So I could say if I were to graph both of these on a grid, that they would be perpendicular. They would intersect to be perpendicular. Now if I changed this question to say that it was going to be parallel to this line instead of perpendicular, what would my slope of my new line be? It would be a -4 because it would be exactly the same. And that's all we have to need to know about writing equations of lines that are perpendicular or parallel to given equations.